guys, what's up? It's Eric Paul, and I'm gonna bring you my best ever video. Best console, game, controller, all that fun stuff. So right now, I'm gonna start with the best console of this generation, and that's pretty much hands down the Xbox 360. It's just got better games, way more people playing it. It's a better console. It's got Halo, better controller. It's just a better console in general. Also, you know, the old ones, they had the removable hard drive. I know the new ones don't, but that removable hard drive is handy in case the console breaks. So I'm gonna say my favorite console of all time then is the Nintendo 64. It just had the best games of any console I've ever played. Hands down, best console, for me at least. Best console all time, objectively speaking. That's a tough one. Maybe the SNES, Nintendo 64. It's a really tough decision to make. Probably the Nintendo 64, and that's the same reasons. Best games. You know, the controller was one of a kind. It'll never be recreated because it kind of sucked, but at the same time, it was really fun. So my favorite controller, for that matter, is the Xbox 360 controller. That controller is so perfect in every way. It's well put together. The layout's just right. It's just the best controller you can get right now. So haters be hating. I don't like the PS3 controller. It sucks. It's really bad. I think the joysticks are kind of laggy. The buttons just don't work right. The controller is actually too light. Like, I can't even feel it in my hands, and that's not a good thing. So probably the best controller of all time is easily the Xbox 360 controller. It's tough to compare it with controllers from the 80s and 90s because they've changed so much. It's just the most balanced controller. You know, it was almost 30 years in the making, so it's just the best controller, easily the best controller of all time. So I'm gonna get to my top 10 favorite games, and don't take this as a best games of all time list because it's not. These are my favorite games. It's a big difference. So number 10 is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It was the first Call of Duty I ever played. Easily the best Call of Duty ever made. You know, most gun balance. Perks weren't a huge issue. Kill streaks were not a problem. Best maps, best campaign, way best campaign. That campaign was amazing. I'll never forget playing, especially the first time when I played that campaign. I'll never forget those feelings. It was just a great experience. Number 9 is Halo Reach, and that is because it's not old enough yet to be ranked higher for me. I haven't discovered its true lasting quality yet because that takes time. It's number 9 because it has the best Forge world of any Halo game. It's probably the tightest in mechanics. The campaign is excellent. You know, you really grow to know and like the characters for even more than who they are in the story. The multiplayer is good online. You don't get many cheaters, but modders can be a problem in certain game modes. You just gotta watch out for that. And anybody that mods is not good at the game. So if you find people modding and hacking and stuff, they suck at video games, and that's the only way they can be good. So number 8 is Halo 3. And that is simply because that campaign is even better than Reach. You know, it's got About the same, probably better quality maps than Reach. Yes, better quality maps. The Forge was introduced in that game. It wasn't great, but it was a start. Theater was also introduced in that game, and every game after it has copied it to the bejesus. Like Black Ops, for instance, that theater is like a photocopy of the Halo theater. It's not a horrible thing, because at least it's getting these games online. It's what people want, and makes it where you don't have to capture card every single game you do. So it was revolutionary for that. The online multiplayer is still fun to play. I think they got the shields and armor just right. It's the best game of any Halo for that matter. The guns are very balanced, always. In every Halo game, they're very balanced. So yeah, that's number 8. Number 7 is Mario Kart 64, and that is the best Mario Kart game, and one of my top favorite games of all time. Just when I was a little kid, it was just the most fun game ever, and you know, these next 7 games are all for lasting quality. They're all older games, and it's definitely got that lasting quality. Though I can get a little bored if I play it too much. That's because it's not a very deep game. It's got limited options, but still very, very fun to play. Also, items in that game weren't ever an issue because there weren't too many, like the new Mario Kart games, which are junk, just so you know. Number 6 is Super Mario 64. And this game was one of the very few games that I ever completely beat, start to finish. I have nothing left to do in that game. I had so much fun playing it for hours and hours. I would just, anxiously think about it all day at school. I'd get home and I'd play it, and it would just meet my expectations. It was one of those rare games that basically everybody enjoyed, and the people that didn't enjoy it, haters be hating. So there you go. Number 6, Pokemon Blue version, and it was the first video game I ever owned. Though I did have a Nintendo 64, my Blue version, my Game Boy Color, I got for Christmas in 1997, and that game I spent so many hours playing it. I beat it over, so many times. I never actually started it over, I just beat the game. I got so many Pokemon to level 100. It was truly enjoyable experience, especially in my childhood. It was one of a kind. And not saying red and yellow version were any worse, they're not. It's just blue version was my first one, so I'm just going to put it in the list. Number 4 is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and that is hands down the best Grand Theft Auto. Most people agree. It had the best soundtrack, best gameplay, best weapon selection, because there was a lot of them. Cheat codes galore. It was so fun for cheat codes. I loved the story. It was just the best story in a video game maybe ever. Like, it's tough to compete with Grand Theft Auto for a lot of reasons, because it was so huge, especially for its time. And since I live in California, it's close to home. I've been to all those cities, well, except for Las Vegas. That's Nevada. That's really far away. But Los Angeles and San Francisco, I've been there many times. It's just close to home. Very fun game. Number 3 is Halo 2, and this is the best Halo game by far. Best campaign, best multiplayer, best maps, and you can say Combat Evolved has better maps, but it really doesn't, because the 2 best maps are also on Halo 2. So the other maps in Halo 2, I think, are better than Combat Evolved. The graphics were better. It was just a more enjoyable game to play. I loved getting to play as the Arbiter and really learning who the Arbiter was. It wasn't just some enemy that I wanted to kill. He ended up becoming a friend. Number 2 is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Simply put, best fighting game ever made. And you can put Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, any of those games, any other Super Smash Bros., and they don't come up to Melee. It's deep but simple at the same time. The customization is easy to use and learn. The simming matches, I think, is fun to watch just for a few minutes. As you can see in this gameplay, giant Bowsers with giant mushrooms. It's really funny to watch these huge creatures fight each other on this tiny stage. Melee, obviously, my second favorite game of all time. And my first favorite game of all time, which I think is the best game of all time. Best first-person shooter and just best game ever. 007 GoldenEye. And the campaign was so enticing to me. I loved playing on the airplane level, the boat level. It was like, especially for a little kid, it was like a dream come true because this never happened before in any video game. The multiplayer, the split-screen multiplayer maybe has never been topped in any other first-person shooter. People that make first-person shooters today strive to make games like this. It's truly one of a kind. So those are my top 10 games. Now I'm going to get to some announcements. I will make a separate Halo gameplay video for the best Halo stuff. And I will also do the same for Call of Duty, the best Call of Duties. Obviously, I made it clear that Modern Warfare is the best one, but I mean, I'll delve into that deeper and talk about the other Call of Duties as well. And Madden 12 comes out August 30th. I'll definitely be getting that. I'm going to get all the games online, onto YouTube, all the preseason games, training camp, regular season, and I will take my team to the Super Bowl as quarterback. Alright guys, this is Eric Paul, bringing you my best ever video. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.